Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Empower Your Soul. I thought I would try something entirely new today and do a channeled podcast to give us insight on the upcoming year of 2025. And I will fully caveat that this is based on the current energy. And I'm tapping into, or I have tapped into before I started recording this, the collective energy of the Akashic Records that this audience who's listening to this needs to know, but also it's like a level up from there too. So it's also maybe a little bit of insight for, I don't know, your next of kin, your extended family members as well, to give you the listeners the information that you need for 2025. I do want to caveat by saying whatever I say is just channeled information. I am not responsible for the accuracy of this. You can blame my Akashic Records team for that. But I thought it'd be fun to give it a try. So, without further delay, I have a list of questions here. And I'm just going to channel this from the Akashic Records for all of you. And by the way, as I channel the information from the Akashic Records, by listening to this, you are also getting channeled healing from the Akashic Records if you choose to do so. You can just say yes in your head out loud, whatever you want. If you don't want the energy, you don't have to accept the energy, but being in the Akashic Records is just healing unto itself. It's a higher vibrational level, and it essentially clears out all of the internal energetic cobwebs, helping you be clear. So while you listen to this, know that that is happening to you as well. So not only should you gain some insights from this podcast, you should also hopefully feel a little bit lighter energetically as well by the end of this. Okay. So first thing I want to ask is about the collective energies of 2025. And I have a whole list of questions. I will say the question, say the response, and if there's follow-up questions I have, this is going to be essentially a conversation that is going to be all through me. So I hope it doesn't get too confusing. So the first question is, what are the primary energetic themes for 2025? And what's interesting is it's going to vary by topic, right? Because if I talk about the stock market, I'm seeing the stock market's going to go up in 2025. I feel like money is going to flow in, at least from that tier, the investor level. And I feel like people are going to make more and more money in the stock market, the rich people, etc. I don't know why I want to say it that way, but money is going to be kind of very flowing in for a lot of the people who already are seeing that money flow in. However, I feel like at the lower level of humanity, like things are going to get desperate. Like things are going to be very hard to pay for. We're going to see a lot more homelessness, a lot more social services coming in, trying to help out. And I know this is short term, so I think it's obviously under the existing structure of the social services, but I am seeing like the rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer. In terms of the energy though, of the collective, I think people are starting to wake up. And I know that people have said this quite a bit in terms of the age of Aquarius, but this is just the beginning. So I don't want anyone to have false expectations that just because we've stepped into this age of Aquarius that everyone's suddenly woken up. That's not true at all. But people are going to, I'm going to say, be increasingly becoming desperate in terms of understanding what the heck is going on in society with the greed and these industries, these oligarchies that are taking over, and looking for a bigger perspective, a bigger picture. And I think as more people step out of this corporate mindset, this chaotic, suppressing energy that is created by a lot of the structures in our world, we're going to see a lot more people stepping out of that energy and starting to be woken up. And I'm going to ask, what do you mean by woken up? They're going to be able to start seeing things clearly from a different perspective and understanding how things are working together against the favor of the people, the collective that actually needs the help in the world. So you're going to see people start to wake up, especially in spring. And I don't know why I'm seeing like spring. There's going to be something about spring where people, like I'm seeing more protests that are going to go on. People are going to get very angry very quickly this year. And I feel like there's going to be this long-term protest or this long-term, I feel like it goes into late summer, early, until something starts to move. So that'll be interesting to see. how will the collective consciousness evolve in the coming year? We're going to see more connectedness in terms of the collective evolving. And what they're showing to me is like, they're showing me a night sky, and like you see different stars lit up where they've been very dull before, and then the stars start seeing each other. So I think that in terms of the evolution, we're going to start again seeing that bigger picture, and then people are going to start linking together and starting to have conversations and starting to connect and learn from each other. And I think collectively, the year of embracing community and embracing truth and transparency is going to be big for this coming year. What lessons are we being called to learn or integrate in 2025? Trust, discernment, using our intuition and our inner knowledge instead of what the knowledge others are bestowing upon us. And just because the words that are coming out of somebody's mouth are what you want to hear, tapping into, is it true? Is it what I need? And questioning, are things going to be different or better? Can things be different or better with a different perspective? I think this is the year of opening up to new perspectives and new possibilities. I'm also going to ask, are there any particular areas where the collective will experience significant growth or challenges? Money is going to be a challenge. People are going to go more grassroots and almost back to, I don't know, basics in terms, and I know folks already have, but like in terms of like growing their own food, making their own clothes, like it's things are going back to basics and moving away from consumerism. And it's not because we're opting to, because I know that has been a recent trend, like moving away from consumerism and opting away from it. It's out of necessity instead this time. So I do feel like we're going to see more people grow fruit and vegetables, more people using and leaning on community, what's the word I want to use? It's not community parks. It's like working more with the community and working more locally, as well, building more community like in person locally, because that has gone by the wayside since COVID. And again, as we awaken the masses, it's just, they keep showing me almost these old timey clips in my head about how it was in the old days, how you would rely on your neighbors, how you'd, have a homestead, that kind of thing. So that's where I'm seeing it's like a return to basics, return to community, return to self-sufficiency and buying less stuff. And as you buy less stuff, prices are going to go up. So it's going to be this self-fulfilling like prophecy in terms of, and then, that's interesting. And then what they're showing me is because all of these prices keep getting raised because all of these executives aren't making as enough money, and all these companies keep laying people off because they're not making enough money. It's like the government finally comes in and does something about it. And they're like, yeah, the people are, there's unrest. The people aren't going to put up with this anymore. Now we actually have to like break some of these structures down so that they're not so deceptive and negative to our society. That's going to be interesting. Okay. Let me move on to, I'm just going to check my list of questions here and see where intuitively they want to go. They want to go to number 4. Okay. What do the Akashic Records want humanity to know as we enter 2025? Peace is coming, but often peace comes at the price of chaos and warfare. Not in the traditional sense, but it comes at the expense of frustration and chaos that leads to change that creates the peace. So what the best thing you can do in the coming years, I'm seeing an S at the end, years, is continue to vocalize and express any areas of discontentment and create community and solidarity. So living authentically is going to be our escape from the current chaos of society, and taking off the mask that everything's fine, that everyone isn't hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, right? Like being truthful and honest about who we are and moving away from the consumerism and the commercialism and moving more into this is the reality of our situation and asking for help and vocalizing what's painful is going to help society start actually addressing some of the problems instead of just like on the surface thinking everything's hunky-dory, and that's what the government is doing because everything looks like it's hunky-dory on the surface and no one's willing to talk about their problems. So as you start to speak more of your truths, humanity will start to change for the better. This will be a long trail, but it's time to start being open about the reality of situations, is what I'm hearing them say. What guidance do the records have for those seeking deeper spiritual connections in the new year? I'm seeing things happening very quickly and at a rapid pace and change happening at a rapid pace. And what that means is that energetically, there's a lot of information flying through the air at any given point. So it may be very difficult for some people to be able to discern the information that they're trying to connect into and understand. And for the purpose of folks who can connect, it's being very hyper specific about what you want and being able to hone in on those specific frequencies to get the information we want. Some people open up to the collective energy and just ask for anything that is in their highest and best self, but it's too broad at this point. And because it's too broad, there's too much information, and then the information comes in unclear or staticky. So this is the year to really truly refine and segment and specialize exactly what you want to learn in terms of the spiritual modalities or spiritual connections, and take it piece by piece instead of trying to open it up to everything at a time. So learn everything in small bursts or components before you kind of bring it together, because once you learn the individual components, then you're kind of able to bring it together in a way where it makes sense and you can kind of communicate using all of that information at the same time. So if you want deeper spiritual connections, get specific on what specifically you want to get deep on. And asking and being open to it coming in from different avenues. You can get it through meditation, you can get it through connecting to the Akashic Records. Spirit will come in and give you signs and synchronicities and messages from people here in the physical world. So be open to receiving it in multiple ways. That's how they're making sure the messages are sticking and you're actually receiving those messages. Are there any specific warnings or areas of focus that the collective should pay attention to in 2025? Burnout. It's all burnout. And again, it relates back to the theme of being distracted and like society wanting us distracted and wanting us with like glazed eyes and not seeing the truth and seeing clarity. So this is the year to go inward and start like using your body as an indicator of the truth and how you feel and what feels good for you and what feels not good for you, and using that intuition to guide you instead of using external stimuli to help tell you what you should be doing every single day. So using your inner guidance more is going to be the key to survive this upcoming year and not getting stuck in the traditional busyness that has always been. And they're challenging me and everyone listening to think about the previous year of 2024. Did you get done everything that you needed to do, or were you caught up in the busyness of social media and society and events and expectations of other people? And how did that make you feel? Do you feel like you accomplished what you needed to accomplish, or did you feel like you played the game well and played society's game well, but you personally don't feel very accomplished from the year? And if that's the case, this is the year for you to really go inward, to focus on your intuition, focus on your trust, focus on slowing down your mind so that you can pay attention to your gut instincts in your body more and make choices that are better for you. So it sounds like a very individualistic perspective on this year going inward, but being able to go inward is actually going to make you show up more integrated and more authentically to those around you. And everything will have greater impact when you know wholly who you are and what you're here to do. So yeah, go inward in 2025. If you don't go inward, you're just going to have another year of, again, that buzzy mess, and not feeling accomplished for what you want. So let me see what else I can ask them. Ooh, what seeds are being planted in 2025 that will shape the next decade? Oh, there's I'm seeing a lot of technology seeds, like particularly AI. Oh, I'm just trying to see what that message is there. It's like good and bad. Because there's a lot of technology things that are being created that will make life easier and more efficient, but that's going to result in the loss of industries. So being able to navigate and adapt to change is going to be very important, but those are the seeds that are being implemented from a technology perspective, is like the technology that will change industries and make things collectively easier, but that means old structures will have to die. Or I'm also hearing organic is going to be the way of the future, from a food perspective. Sorry, that took me a while to get back into that energy. That was interesting. I didn't know where they wanted to go with it. Organic is going to be like, it's going to be the way of the future. So like a lot of what they're going to find is a lot of the cancers and the horrible things that go on are because of the food additives that are in all of our everything. And once that link is connected and found, we're going to see like the clearing out of our food and improving the health of people and the longevity of people as a result of clearing out all the chemicals in our food. So the best thing you can do is like focus on what you're eating. Make sure you're eating organically. Do not eat the crap. Don't eat the dyes. And that is going to help you in the coming years as well. Okay. I'm gonna leave that question just because I'm not feeling that one too much. Let me see. Ooh, how about this one? Are we nearing a greater collective awareness or disclosure about extraterrestrial life in 2025? Yes, I'm hearing it. Yes. I think they're being a little sarcastic in my head right now because it feels like get ready for the rodeo. But I do see like these ETs coming and teaching us. I have to be honest with you. I see that they're coming and like teaching us things. And I don't know when in the future this is. But I do see them coming and starting conversations with us. Is this in 2025? Yes, I'm hearing yes, it's in 2025. So there is a greater collective awareness about connecting to ETs in 2025. And I do see eventually they like become our teachers and they help us gain. It's almost like they live among us. And I think they already do, but I feel like more efficiently, like more in their authentic bodies, if that makes sense, and less of like the fake bodies that they put on, the masks they put on to disguise themselves around us. Interesting. Anyone dating an ET? I want to know. Okay. Let me see. All right. How can individuals use energetic practices like working with crystals, sound healing, meditation to stay aligned with the heightened vibrations of the new year? Everyone is going to be different. So know that there is not one path to improving your energetic groundedness, clarity, etc. Everyone has to choose the modality that works best with them. And that's because all of us are made up of different energy and vibrations, and certain types of sounds, frequencies work better with you as an individual than it's just like our fingerprints. Everyone's going to have a unique approach to it. And it could be one, it could be a combination of modalities. There is no standard here. So pay attention to whether you feel lighter around crystals, whether you feel like sound baths really help you clarify and focus. Like put it on in the background while you're working on YouTube, right? Like put on some sound healing. Does it help you keep your high vibe, keep your energy low? And I think keep your energy high. If so focus on what matters, what works best for you. I would say experiment is kind of the energy that I'm getting, but also pay attention to the moments when you're in low vibration, because what is going to get you out of a low vibration back into high is going to be different than what maintains your high vibration. So like these crystals behind me, they are going to take me from good to great, right? They're going to keep my vibration high or slightly higher when I need it. If I'm in a bad mood, those crystals ain't going to do nothing because they are too high vibration and they are not going to pull me out of my low vibration to get into a high vibration personally, because I need something like super strong, which is why I have moldavite around my neck, and other professionals can't touch this stuff. And I'm just like, I wear it 24/7 and I got nothing. Right? I got nothing. I think it helps clear, but my energy level's at moldavite level, so it doesn't do much for me compared to other people who can't touch the stuff. So for me personally, like what I'm seeing when I'm in low vibration frequencies, I need to physically like move my body, go for a walk, go outside. And I need to like move my body to distract it while I clear my mind at the same time. So for me, that looks more like active grounding or exercise, being alone, like literally breathing in the air is a way, fresh air from nature is a way for me to cleanse my energy. So that's what they're showing for me. So again, experiment, see what works for you. But again, not everything is going to work in every circumstance. So it's going to be a very interesting year. So if you have this figured out, I'm very jealous. I need to work a little bit more on this. And then I'll answer one more. What lessons or tools from 2025 can help individuals balance their earthly responsibilities with their cosmic potential? Oh, I love that. Okay. You can never escape the physical world. You can never escape your earthly responsibilities. Likewise, if you get stuck in your earthly responsibilities and you become imbalanced in that way, then your life is at a lower vibrational level, because Earth typically is. And that's going to be result in feeling more down, more depressed, lower vibrational level. Just doesn't feel as good. It just doesn't feel as good. You wake up groggy every day and your body feels that energetic level. So the best thing that you can do is to balance your energy on the earth versus your cosmic potential. I love how that's worded. You can carve out time for each. So again, this is all about experimentation. Notice in the day where you're a little more intuitive or you're a little more tapped in, you're able to connect a little better to the spirit world, right? Pay attention to when you are more productive. You're really good at being in a flow state with work. Like your brain feels better being more analytical, and use that to your advantage every single day to balance and set time aside to do your work in the physical world versus connect with your soul and spirit in the spiritual world. And that is the best way that you can balance that, is just by setting time aside and using the best time for each of those in the day to feel accomplished. Because if you don't, the alternate path is let's say 3 o'clock in the afternoon is when I'm most productive, and 9 in the morning is when I feel like I'm the most intuitive and tapped in to spirit. If I flip-flop those, and if I worked at 9 a.m. and then I did my intuition at 3 o'clock, I would half-ass both of them, essentially. I wouldn't be fulfilled in either of those, because I wouldn't be able to fully accomplish or feel accomplished in either of those. Likewise, if I swapped those to my most efficient and best timing, then it's like I hit both of those out of the park, and I did more with less time for both of them. So I'm actually able to be more efficient and effective in both of them by figuring out what my optimal time is. So that is going to be another challenge and a takeaway for you to think about, identifying when you are best in your earthly responsibilities during the day and when you're best in your cosmic responsibilities during the day, and use those times to your advantage. And again, use your intuition to help you figure out what's when. And I suspect that will likely change from day to day. by a couple of hours. And maybe some days it'll be totally flopped on its head, but pay attention. Pay attention. All right. How do we like that? How do we like channeled messages from the Akashic Records for 2025? Should we do more of these? Let me know. I would love to do these. It's kind of reminds me of my old social media trend I did a while ago. I should bring it back. What the dead want you to know, or what your guides want you to know, where people ask questions and I would just channel the answers from spirit, because Lord help me, I don't have all the answers. But I can channel the information when I don't. So yeah, let me know if you're interested in doing more of these. But I hope this was helpful. I hope this was insightful. I'm very interested to see how these turn out for the rest of the year. And yeah, we'll do some like monthly, quarterly updates with spirit and see what the theme of each month is. I don't know. Let's play with it. It'll be fun. All right. Mwah. I love you all. Take care.